Hello, welcome back everyone. The weather has been wonderful lately, so the flowers are fully in bloom and absolutely gorgeous. Still, there's plenty that needs to be done, like these pots. The flowers have finished flowering and need to be replaced. So Dave is now preparing some soil to do some potting on. He's adding coffee grounds to the mix. We save that for the plants, and it usually helps to give the soil a boost, particularly when we're reusing old soil and mixing it in with new. For this year display, I've sown Cosmos Double Click, which gives these gorgeous flowers with double petals in all different shades of pink. I'm also growing different types of calendulas in combination with serenes. The sweet peas have grown very well this year, giving me lots of flowers because of the mild weather. And the early potatoes that we have planted a couple of months ago have started flowering, indicating that very soon we will be able to harvest them. The dahlias are also starting to form their first flower buds, so in a couple of weeks' time I should be able to see the first flowers. In summer, one of our favorite pastimes is to visit nurseries because usually they will have a sale by the middle of summer. When people are going on holiday, they tend to have remaining plants that have not sold during the early growing season in discount. So this is one of those discounted plants that we got from the nurseries. It's a rhododendron that looks very, very sad. We're not sure if it would survive, but for €3 we figured we could give it a chance. We are planting it up together in a large pot with a discounted azalea that looks much better. This one we got for €6, and for this size of a plant it's actually quite a steal. When we buy plants from the nursery in discount, they are usually a little bit beaten up. So we prefer to pot them on into large pots with the right kind of soil and keep an eye on them during the summer. It makes the survival rate a lot better than when we would just dig a hole in the border and put them there. And they usually also overwinter in these pots. And the next spring we will then plant them out into the border. So for this pot, Dave is actually planting in plants that I've sown the previous year. So here, for example, he's planting up a Russian sage that is about now 1 year old. I've seen mature plants in the south of France, and they grow into these large bush-like structures that come up all the way to my waist. Here in the Netherlands, particularly in our garden where we have partial shade, I don't expect them to grow as large, but at least when we grow them in the pot, we can move the pot around and place them in the sunny spot that we have. Now, what we also have this year are lots and lots of Columbine seedlings. And these are grown from seeds that I've harvested from our own plants. I don't exactly remember which color they have. They probably will turn out purple or pink. But yeah, we won't find out until next spring. And as you already have noticed, the soil in the spot is very sandy. It's basically 1 part sand and 1 part compost. That makes it ideal for drought-loving plants that like good drainage, like the Russian sage, but also the Columbine would thrive in this. I think the best part about container gardening is basically that you can adjust the soil type in the containers to suit the plants. For example, for the dahlias, we use a 1 part sand, 2 part compost mixture to ensure that the tubers won't rot if we get plenty of rain, but also give them enough compost to ensure a good bloom. And in this pot, Dave is planting a rose campion, a decorative grass that I've sown 2 seasons ago, so I can actually not remember the name. And also, once again, plenty of Columbine seedlings for next year. In addition to sowing perennials and annuals, I also often take cuttings from established trees and bushes. Here Dave is cleaning up a cutting from a forsythia that I have, I think, taken like 2 years ago. It has established well, but has now outgrown its original pot. Dave is potting these 2 cuttings together in a large pot that contains 1 part garden soil and 1 part sand. The sand will help the plants survive the winter better because it will prevent the frost from damaging the roots. There's some space left over, so he's also planting up a discounted nursery plant. This is a pink Scotch broom, which will flower around the same time or a little bit later. So it will give a very nice display if we can move this pot inside as well for next spring. And he's finishing the pot with a handful of Columbine seedlings. Despite the wet early summer that we have so far, watering the plants remains a vital part of container gardening. Next to the entrance of the patio garden, we have a rose that smells of citrus. And it's a beautiful flower, only it doesn't give that many roses as yet. So Dave is deadheading it to extend the flowering season. For this summer, I particularly like the combination of calendula and serene. The serene is starting to form seeds, and you can see that they are ripening when you turn the flower over and you see this very large black seeds sitting in the positions where the flowers used to be. At a certain moment, these will drop, so before that I would like to harvest them to keep some seeds for next year. And just like that, the sunny moment is over and is replaced by dark clouds and rain. I noticed this year that everything grows very, very slowly. The flowers are late, and although the plants are lush and green, they grow very, very tall to reach for light that isn't there. because this is the first year that I have a container garden in this location. I've no idea how early the perennials and annuals should be flowering in this spot. But going with my gut feelings, I think that flowering has been delayed for at least 2 weeks this year. So think that flowering has been less abundant, except for the azaleas and the rhododendrons, who were absolutely loving the wet and hot and humid climate. Thank you all for visiting us. Please subscribe and visit us again.